Morning, everyone, and welcome to the Fed League Flash for Saturday, February 8th, as we look back and recap the Friday games. Let's start off. It was a light day, just 5 games overall. First game was the Carolina Port Huron matchup in Port Huron, and Carolina continues their winning streak. This game was not as close as it seems here, um, in spite of some weird trends in this game. First, Valtteri Nusiainen, he played a great game. Uh, these all weren't all on him. Mario Cavalieri didn't have the best of games, um, but it was enough to win. First period, the teams come out, and the ice is decidedly slanted in Carolina's favor. They've got the lion's share of puck possession in that first period, cycling well, keeping things deep. Port Huron, really not a whole lot they could do, except just kind of survive the tidal wave, and they did. Shots are 15-5 in favor of Carolina in the first period, but Port Huron holds them scoreless. Port Huron's held scoreless. So into the second period we go, and surprise, surprise, the first goal is scored by Reggie Millette, F337. So Port Huron, in spite of being badly outshot, is up 1-0. Make it 2-0. 15:35, Lucas Slackney scores on the power play. And it's 2-0 Port Huron. The shots as we go through to late in the second period, it's 25-10 in favor of Carolina. And finally, they break through the wall. Nate Keeley gets on the board. Originally thought the goal went to Batita, but it was Nate Keeley instead. That's 19-15. And that really set the tone for the rest of the game. It was 2-1 at that point. We get into the third, and it is Yuri Pastuka scoring just 52 seconds into the third period. That ties things up, and eventually the momentum would just finally carry Carolina over the top. Roman Kramer scores on the power play at 11:51 to make it a 3-2 game. Get to the latter couple of minutes. Carolina again with a decided shot advantage, 14-5 in that third period. Valtteri Nusiainen gets pulled for the extra attacker, but John Butita finds the empty net the first time at 18:28, and then Roman Kramer also tickles the twine. No guardian in front at 19:17. That makes it 5-2. Right at the end of the game, 5 seconds left, literally. Thelstrom scores to make the score seem like it was a closer game than it really was. But yeah, this was just a dominating performance, really, by Carolina, in spite of the score and in spite of the weird stats. Cavalieri gets a win. He only saves 12 of 15. It was enough. Nusiainen stops 35 of 38 in 58, 29 played. All right, crowd of 13-15 on hand at McMorran Place. And Carolina now 24-7-3. Again, they've won their last 8 in a row. Port Huron 19-13-4. And they took a little slip in the standings. We'll talk about that in a bit. This was my matchup of the week because I looked at a matchup of 2 fifth-place teams, really understanding the urgency and needing wins. And, it came pretty much as advertised. This was another game where Motor City ended up taking an early lead, and Blue Ridge would storm back. It's Trevor Babin in goal for the Motor City Rockers. Meanwhile, it's Hunter Verostic. He's in net for the Bobcats. So in the first period, Motor City getting outshot, but they had a lot of really good chances in that first period. And Avery Smith, he scores first at 14:59. That puts Motor City up. Chris Buys scores at 18:34. So at the end of one period, it's 2-0 in favor of the Rockers, in spite of the fact that they were outshot 19-12 by the Bobcats. A lot of those shots, the 19 shots by the Bobcats, were perimeter shots, shots that were very easy for Babin to see. In the second period, some minor adjustments. Bobcats kind of get their offensive game plan set, and it is Devin Sanders. Again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think he's probably one of the most underrated players in the FPHL. Devin Sanders scores on the power play at 7:59. It's also Daniel Martin. No, Martin didn't score. Who did they give that goal to? It was okay. When I went to bed, it was Martin, but then I see in the stats Martin didn't have a goal. He had 3 assists. All right, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Bobcats score at 15:25, initially credited to Daniel Martin. That was on the power play. There was a period of time where Motor City just had man after man after man in the penalty box. All right, Justin Daly, he scores a 17-11 again on the power play. Um, Although I think also that goal that was initially credited to Martin initially also was not listed. No, it was the Daly goal that was marked as an even strength goal. It was, in fact, a power play goal. Another one of those stat issues. All right. So yeah, it's 3 straight goals by the Bobcats in the second period. They go up 3-2. Shots are 15-11 in favor of the Bobcats in the second and the third. Yeah, the Bobcats just kept the pedal to the metal. We have Sanders again scoring at 5:19, and then just 37 seconds later, it's Hunter Godmere. The team just signed him. He's from Sweden, and he had a pretty good impact, pretty big impact on the game for the Bobcats. He scores 5:56. And then Cody Oakes, he tries to get the Rockers back in it. He scores on the power play at 12:38, but Hunter Hall has the exclamation point on the game at 16:35 to make it 6-3. Shots were pretty even, 15-14 in favor of the Bobcats. Again, a lot of shots on goal surrendered by the Rockers. It would be 49 shots on goal for the Bobcats. So there we go. 6-3 final. Crowd of 1241 on hand. Doug Blaisdell, he quietly had 2 assists for the Rockers. Cody Oakes, one of those 3 goals. So yeah, finally, in the end, it's 3 assists for Danny Martin, 2 goals for Devin Sanders. Godmere had a goal and assist. And Hunter Verostic stops 34 of 37 for the win, while Babin 49 shots on goal, and he saved 43. So the Rockers are 13-19-2. They're still holding on to 5th. There's enough of a cushion between them and 6th place HC Venom at this point, where they're okay. Blue Ridge Bobcats 17-12-4, and they don't move up in the standings, but they create a little bit of separation between them and Idle Monroe for that 5th place spot. All right, and then yeah, here we go. It is official. The longest losing streak in professional hockey history, at least North American hockey history, belongs to the Dashers of the 24-25 season. And this was kind of a shame because for 40 minutes, the Dashers played a really good game, gave the Danbury Hat-Tricks all they could give them, and it just wasn't enough. Again, the game is 60 minutes, not 40. All right, so it is Oscar Wallgren in goal for the Dashers, Connor McCollum for the Hat-Tricks, and it would end up that he has a very solid game, makes some big saves in key moments that kept the hat tricks close, even when they were either tied or behind. Yeah, Dashers were up for a brief period of time. Uh, First goal of the game goes to the hat tricks. It is Gleb Van Durken. Whew, what a game he had. There was just no stopping him. He was on fire last night. He gets the opening goal, 8:50 of the first period. Um, it is 11:39 that Bodan Zinchenko scores against his old team, and yeah, he's feeling pretty good. He was really jacked up at that point. 11:39, that goal was scored, and then 14:55, it's Zinchenko. It's Zinchenko again. Both goals set up by Blake Sewardson. So the Dashers are up 2-1 at the end of one, and hat tricks. Yeah, they got the bulk of shots, 15-7 in the first, but it was a Dashers lead, and that would continue until the latter half of the second period. Defensively, for these first 34, 35 minutes, Dashers played really well. But Corey Anderson, he finally gets in the puck close and tucks it home, 5-hole on Oscar Wahlgren at 13:55 to tie things up. So 2-2 at the end of two. Shots are 31-13 for the hat tricks. This was the Achilles heel for the Dashers in this game, is that they just couldn't generate enough offense to keep the momentum going. And eventually caught up with them. The hat tricks came out gangbusters in the third. Jacob Radcliffe, he scores at 13:36 to put the hat tricks up. So yeah, so for 52, 53 minutes, the Dashers are in this. But Radcliffe said that's enough. We're moving on. He scores. Then it's Gleb Van Durken scoring again at 14:42. So just a minute six later. That seems to happen a lot with the Dashers, where they with the hat tricks, excuse me, where they score bunches. Well, it happens with the Dashers too, where they give up goals in bunches. So they pull Wahlgren in the last minute. Can't generate offense. It's finding the empty net. It is Vadim the Dream Frolov. That's what Doug Latuca calls Frolov. It fits. And so yeah, that is it. 5-2, and you now have a 29 game losing streak, which again sets a futility mark for North American pro hockey. Shots in the final period, 18-13 in favor of the hat tricks. Of course, as the Dashers had to take more chances and open things up, the hat tricks took advantage. So it is a record of 128-3 in favor. Well, not in favor. 128-3 for the hat tricks. 20 for the Dashers. Excuse me. I need more coffee this morning or something. The hat tricks are now 18-10-6, and they vault themselves into second place. 50 shots on goal for the game. A crowd 19-13 on hand sees Van Durken with 2 goals and 2 assists on the night. Frolov, that empty net goal plus 2 assists. Corey Anderson with a goal and assist, and Connor McCollum ends up saving 26 of 28 for a very nice win. Wahlgren stops 45 of 49 in 57-21 time on the ice. So there we go. So I guess I'm putting this away for a while. Maybe pull it out, when a win does come eventually. I hope. We'll see. All right, so let us change our boards. All right. Watertown and Hudson. See, I wasn't going to get through a video without the H slip up. The HC Venom. All right. So this was a surprisingly interesting game. Right, as of late, the Wolves have been playing really well. They're on kind of a high point, and the Venom have been searching for answers. So we get through this game, and it is competitive thanks to the debut performance of Sharma. Rahul Sharma. Turns out he's been with the team most, if not all, of this year as like a practice goalie. He gets signed because John Moriarty goes on the IR. And, I think right now the Venom are probably looking at this game and it's like, why didn't we sign this guy earlier? Maybe things will be a little different. Who knows? It's hard to say. I mean, it's a team game, but Sharma was fantastic. So fantastic that the Venom ended up with a late lead, and Watertown was frankly getting a little panicked, but they pull it out. All right, so for this game, it's Anton Borodkin's in goal for the Wolves, and the aforementioned Rahul Sharma in goal for the Venom. And I tell you what, everything he saw, that puck was like a beach ball to him because he was saving everything. Some of the saves were pretty routine, pretty basic. But Sharma did one thing that I noticed is that most of the time, if he could freeze the puck, hold the puck, he did. He felt confident with his team as far as face-offs, and he just felt good about stopping the play, not allowing a defensive turnover, deep in his own end. So, he played very smart. In this game, there is no score through half of it. And finally, Connor Craig gets the Venom on the board at 10:53. Um, and it's 1-0 Venom. And everything that the Wolves are throwing at Sharma, he's scooping it up. He's covering up. He's melting it down. He's got it in the trapper. Um, nothing doing. He wasn't giving the Wolves any second chances. So through 2 periods, the shots are there were an insane amount of shots by both teams. The shots are in Wolves' favor, 41-38 through 2 periods. That's usually a game total you'd see at the end of a game, but no, that was just through 2 periods, and it's it's the Venom that's controlling things. In the third period, the goal is credited to Lester Brown. I am 99.99999% sure that the goal was scored by Stavros Soilis. But just go with the stats. They posted it as gone to Lester Brown, and there you go. So it's 2-0 Venom, and the Wolves are scratching their heads, going, "What is with this guy? We can't get anything by him." All right, so finally, it takes a 4-on-3 power play situation for the Wolves to be able to create enough space and time and puck movement to get Sharma moving east to west, and Trevor Lord scores at 10:08. So it is now 2-1, and then it is, let's see, what time was that? 12:48. It's David Gaeta. He scores to tie things up. So and that was just off of a bad turnover in the defensive end. Really nothing that Sharma could do on that. And yeah, once the Wolves got the East-West passing game going, and they created a deep zone turnover, they were able to find some success. But we end up at the end of 60 minutes, it's tied up at 2, and Sharma is captivating everyone's attention. It's amazing. In the overtime period, weird exchange. A 2-on-1 break for the Wolves. Sharma makes a save. Turns around, it goes the other way, and I didn't catch who it was that had the puck, but Lord takes that puck carrier down, creates a turnover. Trevor Graspy comes down with Lord. Lord's got the puck. He sets up Graspy and a nice 2-on-1. Again, nothing that Sharma could do. That scores the winner at 2:17 of the overtime period, and the Wolves escape with a 3-2 win over a Venom team that proved very resilient. 20-12-1 is now Watertown's record, but it's only a 2-point win because being in overtime, so they are currently still in fourth place, 1 point behind Port Huron, 2 points behind the Hat Tricks. Hudson Valley, I said it. Hudson Valley, HC Venom, whatever you call them. The team that plays in Poughkeepsie, New York, 2 goals, 47 shots. Connor Craig and Lester Brown given credits for the goal. It's Graspy with a game-winning goal, 2 assists. Lord, goal and 2 assists. And Gaeta, goal and assist. Borodkin stops 45 of 47. Rahul Sharma, 58 saves out of 61. Yeah, you get the puck on that 61 times. A couple of them are going to go in. I did not get an attendance figure on that because I did not look this morning, but it wasn't posted as of late when I went to bed. Final game, we'll just highlight this real quick. This game was close for a while. It was 4-4 in the third period, and then the River Dragons kind of went on a little bit of a run and ran away with it, a 7-4 win in the end. But that fifth goal, Alex Sturgeon scoring on the power play. It did not come until 9:44 of the third period, so it's 5-4 in favor of the River Dragons at that point. And there was no guarantee that the SeaWolves were just going to fold up or anything. So yeah, it was really competitive until very late. But yeah, Matt Petesian does get the win, saving 26 of 30. Richie Perrant, who got the start for the Mississippi SeaWolves, stops 36 out of 42 in 58 minutes, 53 seconds played. Justin Somero gets an empty netter late in the game to seal the deal for the River Dragons, who are now 19-9-4. Mississippi is 5-29-3. For this game, it was Sam Turner, Curtis Hanson, and Don Carter Jr. all having a goal and assist. For the River Dragons, J-Mac, what a game. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Kyle Moore, 5 points with a goal and 4 helpers. And we had Ryan Hunter, his usual performance, a goal and 2 assists. Just another day at the office, right? And also the game-winning goal by Sturgeon. Petesian again coming out victorious. The weirdest part of this game, I saw the first, I'd say 6 minutes of the game, and both teams score very, very early. Kyle Moore scores at 27 seconds in to be countered by Curtis Hanson at just 1:22 in. And then the fog starts to rise. It was starting to look very foggy, so the referees recognized goalies aren't seeing the puck well. So they stop the game. Everyone comes out on the ice, does the circle, kind of dissipates the fog, and then the game goes on. And I guess it was extremely humid down in Columbus, so they had to do that. It's like, keep the doors closed and try and keep the cool air inside. It was really weird. You have Tom Callahan kind of giving a weather report, but that's the way it goes. So anyway, Mississippi, their elimination number now, by the way, is down to 21. Combination of 21 points either gained by the Blue Ridge Bobcats or lost by the SeaWolves, and they are officially eliminated from playoff contention. It's kind of weird. They have a lower number, an elimination number, than the Dashers do, but the Dashers, the 5th place team in the Empire, is Motor City. They don't have as many points, so that's why this situation comes about. Another weird fact. Anyway, okay, so we've got 5 games tomorrow. The Wolves will be idle. The Black Bears will be hosting the Venom. And so these other three teams will remain idle for the rest of the weekend. And that is your wrap up for Friday, February 7th. And we will be back here tomorrow with another video for the 5 games tonight. We'll see what happens. Are the games as tilted or lopsided, or do we have a couple more really exciting games like we did in Poughkeepsie? We will see. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you're hitting like and subscribe. You know the drill. Tell a friend. Make sure you're following on Facebook and on the Flash Audio Network as well. All right, you folks have a wonderful Saturday, and we will see you tomorrow.